Good evening. How we doing?
Sony definitely had a few great titles that they were showing. So we finally got to see Bloodborne.
Yes, I kind of felt it's Resident Evil meets Van Helsing from what I saw from the original trailer.
It's just like, very Soulsy.
Yeah,
really.
yeah, it's kind of that and The Order, which all were kind of setting up that, for me, where that era or
that
genre
kind of era, yeah. The Order was great. I played a bit of The Order. I wish the demo had been longer.
Yep.
But they're keeping things very quiet, which is quite good. So all we know is there's sort of lichens in it, and there's two factions against each other as well as the non-human stuff, which is quite cool. And the weaponry, so they've got like arc reactors and thermite guns, which is really cool.
Yeah, again, it's slipped to 2015, which is a bit of a shame.
2015's stellar.
I mean, yeah, 2015, I think if they plan it right, and we hope that they do, there could be an absolutely huge franchise every single month.
Yeah, oh yeah.
No Man's Sky.
It looks great, and it's been made by 4 people.
Yeah.
And it's just this huge, you know, basically limitless game where you just explore everything.
Yeah, so I love Elite, or when I was younger I played Elite, and this for me, when I first saw it, I think, well, maybe this is a bit similar to Elite, where they've changed it, because obviously that's on a Kickstarter funding. So I looked at this and just thought, everybody starts on a different planet. Wherever you go, if you find something on a planet and you're the first to find it, it names it with you, so forever you will be named as the founder of that element on that planet. For me, that was probably one of their highlights for their actual show, and it seemed to get a huge reaction there as well. And the guy that was actually presenting it on stage was really emotional about it, which was great to see as well.
We also saw more of Destiny, so again, it looks great, and there's going to be a ton of exclusive content on the PS4.
Yep.
So it was a great show opener.
When you look at it as an overall, the game is going to succeed because it's new IP. It's on both platforms, but one of the big things of E3 this year was all about exclusives or exclusive content.
We see for Disney Infinity 2.0, Hulk is coming, I believe, first to PlayStation.
Yep.
I think he's got a month exclusivity.
Yes.
And then he's going to come to Xbox. So it's kind of little things like that, really.
Yeah, and GTA was another one. So GTA 5 was announced that we
for
were
next
actually
gen.
for next gen. Can't wait. And then there's now some rumours out there that will there be exclusive content to the Sony platforms.
That'll be very interesting.
So, what do you think?
It's a lot to take in, kid.
And then finally, closing the show out, Uncharted 4.
The thing we all wanted to see.
I was so nervous it wasn't. We saw some other gameplay prior, and I was like, it's overrunning, we've been here over time, are they going to show anything? And then we saw a very small glimpse of what we got to expect, A Thief's End, Uncharted 4.
Which is sort of an ambiguous kind of
it is.
Subtitle as well. But
who knows where it's going to go? Does that mean Drake? Does that mean other
does that not
storyline
mean
characters?
Sully or
Who knows? But 2015 again.
Oh, it's going to be such
Can't
a good
wait.
year. So that was Monday. And then, you know, Tuesday morning, so instead of doing a press conference this year, Nintendo have done another Nintendo Direct, and it was fantastic. It was hilarious. And that's kind of the tongue-in-cheek thing that we're missing from E3. You know, when you've got Reggie facing off against Iwata, and then you've got like Robot Chicken kind of interstitials, it was really funny. But they had some big, huge announcements. So they had, started off with like Super Smash Brothers, but then they showed Amiibo.
Yeah.
So they are getting in on the toy market.
Yeah, they are, and it's a really interesting one because obviously they're saying initially it's going to work with Smash Brothers. I saw the characters behind closed doors when they were on the show floor, actually in a cabinet. If you've probably seen photos of them, and they're really nicely made. So they're very, very well made. They're obviously going to go into Smash Brothers. You can see them obviously having exclusive items to them, because obviously some of these characters are going to be in Smash Brothers, but these characters,
Mario Kart as well.
yeah. So there's things to say that hopefully at some point as well they're going to work within Mario Kart, and then you also look at where else will these characters work. Could you ever see an amiibo in Skylanders? Who knows?
Yeah.
So yeah, for me there was that, and then I think open world Zelda.
That was, that's when the internet exploded, was
Yeah.
open world Zelda. It just looked fantastic. It was just sort of the dev going, we know it's been restrictive, and so now finally we're giving this to you. It looked beautiful as well.
Yeah, and look, Zelda open world has got success written all over it. When it comes, who knows? We just hope it comes as soon as possible, really, because I just want it to be a success. Mario Kart has really helped the Wii U market, and it just needs these games like Smash Brothers and other things coming out to continue that drive for this marketplace.
But in the meantime, you've got games sort of more cutesy, but more family friendly. But they look, you know, I had a little go of Yoshi's Woolly World.
Looks amazing. I had to go for Splatoon. That again is
another new IP.
Yeah.
It was great. It was sort of introducing competitive shooting multiplayer, but with a nice kind of family side to it. You don't have to have guns and shoot people up.
It
You
doesn't
can
have
just
to be blood. It's kind of like a paintball meets Call of Duty, but with just fun elements to it, so that you can constantly respawn, multiplayer as well, which I thought was very interesting.
Yes.
Um,
And you can immediately just go to another friend. You just tap him on the gamepad.
yeah, and you can join them. So great. Now, so I thought overall Nintendo's Direct was really, really positive.
It was fun.
As you say, the internet went mad for it. And following on after the Monday, it was a great start to the first day of the Tuesday.
Big things that were on the show floor. So I expected Morpheus to be at Sony's press conference, and it wasn't.
No.
But it did have hours-long queue every time I saw it. And Oculus had a massive booth as well.
Yes.
Which is really interesting. So VR is kind of on the fringe now, but it's
Definitely.
getting more and more traction every year. So I remember, 2 years ago, Oculus was in a small booth on the concourse in a small meeting room. Now it's on the show floor with a giant thing, and Alien Isolation was on it. And I didn't get a chance to play, but I heard it was absolutely terrifying.
Again, I've played Oculus a couple of times now, from the version 1 through to this new version. Since the backing of the purchase from Facebook, obviously things have just exploded for it. And I think it's going to be very interesting where that market goes. So all of these different franchises that could work.
Well, it's interesting to see games like Alien, CCP with Eve Valkyrie, actively supporting it with these big AAA titles.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's just going to continue, and you can just see that. So you could imagine maybe the likes of big other franchises moving into this. So not saying it would be, but from a Microsoft point of view, if you imagine Halo going into that sort of world, it just reopens this world to how they can make these games work for them. So yeah, the software's coming. Whether they're close, I think again. Hate to say it, but 2015 could be the year of VR as well as all these other big franchises.
And a few other games didn't really have much of a press conference kind of backing. So Homefront: The Revolution.
Yeah, so
announced just before E3.
Yes.
But I had another look at it, and it looks great. I really love the idea of it.
I think the franchise itself, obviously, I really enjoyed the first one. It had a huge amount of backing from THQ, and it didn't really succeed as well as they'd like it to.
It is a great premise, though.
Yeah, it's actually quite
dark.
true to what could happen.
I mean, the great things that I saw in the demo that I saw, you had a remote control car that you found, and you strapped a bomb to it, and you drove it in underneath another car and just exploded stuff. It was cool, things like that. And then you had the co-op, and it's Unreal 4, so it looks
graphically it looks stunning. So yeah,
I have big hopes for that actually.
Yeah,
I really
I think they'll pull on heartstrings with the way they're doing it. I think the original trailer they showed prior to E3, that kind of really was another emotion. I think that's one of the key things from this year. Everything's got really emotional trailers to try and get people really enticed into the story.
Get you to remember as well.
Definitely. The other one for me that I saw was probably The Witcher.
So that was on Microsoft stage,
Yes.
but CD Projekt Red always do big booths, great kind of presentations. I am super excited about it.
Yeah, again, huge game, again delayed until 2015.
It's one of the games that I will forgive them for delaying it because it's so ambitious.
Well, they're doing it to get it right. They're delaying it for a reason. They want this game to be perfect. What I saw around 35 minutes of gameplay, and they took it through a story. The world is huge. You can go wherever you want. You can fast travel if you want to in places to try and speed things up, but you can actually go there through your own, ride a horse across all these fields, through swamps. So again, a huge game for next year. Again, it's just stuck in my head since the conference. The Dead Island 2 trailer. I mean,
it was a great trailer. I mean, they always do great trailers for Dead Island.
Yeah, and the song, just literally, I came straight home, I downloaded the song, and I'd love to go out jogging, but I don't really go jogging. So
especially not in California anymore.
I'm not in California, but again, the zombie whole thing with that, Dying Light and all these other games, it's going to be a really, really exciting, but also tough year for all of these games to really stand out.
Yeah. So, top threes.
Top threes, okay, I will go with, at number 3 for me, I'm going to go with, even though we didn't see a huge amount of it, I'm going to go Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yes.
Loved the first one, really looking forward to this one. You?
My number 3 is Uncharted 4. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm definitely.
nice.
Yes, I am. It's at number 3 because I know I'm going to have to wait for it.
Yes.
And I don't like waiting. So that's why it's at number 3. Number 2?
Number 2 for me, I'm going with The Division. For me, my style of game, really looking forward to it. So that's where I'm sitting with that one.
Mine is another Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed Unity, because I'm a huge fan.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited for Unity.
Yeah, me too. Number one for me though, is kind of going against what you've just said on Uncharted. So I've gone with Rainbow Six Siege. Ubisoft. I mean,
Ubisoft. Well, that's the thing. My number one is Far Cry 4.
wowzers. So
Ubisoft is sort of. I think they've done it again. They've sort of dominated this year's E3.
yeah, I think that all of the press conferences were very, very good. I just think from an overall, probably 80-90% of Ubisoft's was really, really strong. Definitely.
So there you have it. That's E3 done for another year.
That is it.
We hope you've enjoyed joining us on our journey, and we'll see you next year.
See you soon.